Imagine a United States where the elected president is never replaced. There are no 4-year terms, no subsequent elections, and no transition of power. Once someone sits in the Oval Office, they remain there for decades, perhaps even a lifetime. The question is, what would happen to America? What would change, improve, or even collapse? This is what we will discuss in this video. What if the US president was never replaced? In theory, such a scenario is nearly impossible in America. The country's constitution limits terms, its political system is designed with strict oversight, and its people deeply value democratic traditions. But throughout world history, the impossible can sometimes change when a country faces a major crisis, war, or political manipulation. So, while extreme, the scenario of an infallible president remains compelling to imagine, as it demonstrates how a democracy can be transformed by eliminating just one mechanism: leadership change. At first, things might not seem so bad. Without a presidential change, the atmosphere seems stable. There's no election drama. There's no lengthy campaign that divides society. The president can focus on long-term programs that typically don't have time to complete in 4 years. But it's precisely during this lull that power begins to take root. The president places loyalists in various key positions. Institutions that should be monitoring him are slowly becoming supporters. Imperceptibly, the country shifts from a healthy democracy to one where power is concentrated in a single person. When a president is irreplaceable, his or her power becomes nearly absolute. There is no longer the fear of losing an election, so there is no incentive to limit action. Critical media outlets can be suppressed under the guise of national stability. Oversight bodies can be gradually weakened. Dissenting citizens lack effective political channels to express their dissatisfaction. This situation creates social tension, protests, and distrust. At some point, power held in the hands of one person for too long almost always gives rise to abuses. In the long term, the country will experience profound changes. Democracy loses its vitality because the people's voice no longer determines the country's direction. Corruption grows more easily because there is no rotation of power. Younger generations lose faith in the system, seeing politics not as a place for change, but as a permanent platform for power. Globally, America's allies are beginning to question whether the country can still be a leader of the free world. The global economy is also faltering as international trust weakens. The world sees America no longer as a symbol of democracy, but as a country whose face has changed. From all these scenarios, there's one key message: democracy doesn't survive on its own. It only thrives when the people maintain mechanisms for changing leaders, check power, and resist excessive concentration of authority. If the US president were never replaced, America would be a very different country than we know today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.